What a moment. Do you hate waiting in line?
Tonight's top story.
Sometimes I thought I was going to die because I wouldn't get one, but I did.
This young girl is alive because a Minnesotan volunteered to donate marrow. Two very grateful little girls are in Minnesota tonight that came here to say thank you to someone that they had never met until this afternoon. But they owe their lives to these individuals. Channel 5's Angela Davis was there to see all this and has a live top story coverage. What a reunion.
Chris, truly a story that warms your heart. The two young girls would not be with us today if it hadn't been for the National Marrow Donor Program and two unselfish Minnesota men who registered with it. I was fortunate to be there when the girls met their donors for the first time just a few hours ago. Candace Nichols of California just met her hero, Reed Halstered of Eden Prairie.
I would be nothing without you.
Candace is alive today because Reed donated his bone marrow to her.
How are you? Just to see her happy and healthy is the most exciting part for me.
Life is the best gift a kid could ever have.
5-year-old Megan Lawton of Arizona is also grateful to Dr. Bob Ing of Inver Grove Heights for giving her the gift of life.
She said, thanks for the blood.
And watching these two very emotional scenes with Baseball Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He lost his own daughter, Michelle, just 5 months ago when a matching bone marrow donor could not be found.
And I don't cry because my daughter's not here. I cry for all the little kids around this country that's not given that second chance.
That's why Carew continues to go to bat for children like Megan and Candace so they can have a second chance at life.
You are the wind beneath my wings. For you are the wind beneath my wings.
Candace has a sweet voice, and Chris, I can assure you there just wasn't a dry eye at this luncheon, which, by the way, kicks off the Awareness Month for the National Marrow Donor Program.
What an emotional story. I'm sure it's extremely satisfying to Rod Carew to know that he has helped raise the awareness of the need for marrow donors, not just here in Minnesota, but around the country.
Yes, certainly. And it was just, a year ago this month that the Carews learned that their daughter Michelle had leukemia and needed a marrow transplant. And because of them, there are now double the number of donors than just last year. They now total more than 2 million.
All right, and maybe we can add a few more to that list.
I hope so.
Angela Davis, thank you very much. Channel 5 did some checking and found that each year more than 30,000 children and adults are in need of a marrow transplant. For most, it is their only chance for survival. About 30% of the patients find a matched donor right in their own family, but for the rest, it is much more difficult, especially for minorities. Out of 1.8 million volunteer donors, only 20% are minorities. There is a great need for more donors who are African American, Asian Pacific Islanders, Hispanics, American Indian, and Alaska natives. If you are interested in finding out how to become a volunteer marrow donor, here's a number for you to call. 1-800-MARROW-2. And we'll repeat that number in just a few minutes.